right, guys, this is Crazy Kevin here, and I'm here with Road to the UFC fighter, Cobra Kai Xiong. Kai, how you doing?
What's up? I'm good, man. I'm good. Yeah, everything's going great.
All right. So it's been a little bit since we've seen you in the cage. Talk to us a little bit about how you've been doing and how training has been.
Yeah, so my last fight was sometime around this time last year. For those that don't know, I lost by knockout, so I took a really long time off to recover and just make sure there isn't any lingering damage and stuff. And so the past year I've been focusing mostly a little bit more on coaching some of my guys that are coming up in the amateur scene, as well as my own head coach. I've been helping him out because he decided to make a comeback in MMA. He's been out for like 8 years, and then he came back last year. So I've been working on that as well. And then in the meanwhile, just still training myself and developing slightly different skill sets. Yeah.
Absolutely. Now, after your last fight, what do you think is the best advice that you got?
After my last fight?
Yes.
That's a tough one. It's strange in a way, but I guess in a weird way, and this is kind of counterintuitive, but to not take things so seriously, it sounds strange, right? But we always think like a result, especially in fighting, like it means life or death. It's like every single fight is potentially gonna be the end of your career. But I realized, for me at least, I'm the kind of guy who does the best when I am enjoying myself, and to kind of ease off that stress, I feel like has helped me perform way better in training, and then approach this fight with a completely different mindset. So coming into this fight, my whole thought process is, you already know how to fight. You just gotta go there. Don't think about what this could mean, because all that matters is just what you're gonna do in that 15 minutes, and the result doesn't matter as long as you do your best. Yeah, I feel like that helps me to find my more relaxed kind of flow state. Not so jittery, not so tense. Yeah.
100%. Now, after your last fight, how long did it take you to come back into the gym and start training again?
I love training, whether there's a fight or not. So I always want to be in the gym. My guys had to actually keep me away from the gym a little bit. So actually, I'd say a week max. Yeah. So that 1 week, because of the concussion, I was told nothing too strenuous. So I was just doing like, just riding the stationary bike and stuff like that. But by the second week, I was drilling, striking. I was back in jiu-jitsu. Maybe not 100%, not sparring just yet, but yeah, because it's just my way of life, so I hop right back in there, yeah.
100%, that's really cool. Now, when it comes to coaching, that was something you just mentioned. How do you enjoy coaching, and how do you think it makes you a better fighter?
So I think I enjoy helping people, regardless of whether it's coaching or not, but particularly for martial arts, MMA. I started MMA when I was in my teenage years, like right on the brink of manhood or adulthood. So that really shaped my entire worldview, and it changed. As corny as it sounds, it changed my entire life. Because I would have taken a very different life path if not for martial arts. So just to help impart that same level of impact I can on other people, man, I think that makes me so satisfied. So even after the loss, I felt really content with life. Just from coaching itself. I think I'm digressing a little bit. Sorry, what was your question again?
Yeah, just basically, just talking to us a little bit about coaching and how it makes you a better fighter.
Oh yes, sorry. So I think it kind of speaks for itself, right? You can't, especially with martial arts, you can't bullshit your way into it. If you know something, you know something. Like if you're trying to just kind of slide your way through it and just pretend and show like bullshit technique, people will immediately they'll know for sure, especially experienced guys. Maybe you can get away with complete beginners, but you gotta know your stuff. Especially if you take pride in your own work and you want to do things seriously, you gotta know your stuff, and you gotta know it so well enough that you can impart that same like concept or technique to the person you're coaching. So yeah, I think definitely it helped me understand techniques and concepts within striking, grappling, whatever it is, and not to use it better for myself and just to kind of understand where it fits into the giant puzzle piece that is MMA, for sure. Yeah.
Now, when it comes to coaching, what ages do you coach? Is it only adults? And if it's more than just adults, what is the hardest age to teach?
So the most of my guys are adults, but I do teach like kids class here and there, mostly privates for kids. But I would say a very interesting one is one of our members. He's actually, I think 60. I want to say 67 this year. So and he jumps right in there with the adult guys, and he's fucking like sparring and everything. So obviously, maybe not the sparring full clip, but I think that's quite an eye opener, and that also has a little bit of nuance to it because I gotta watch out for him. He doesn't move as well as like able-bodied like young adult, so I sometimes modify the techniques and stuff like that. But generally, I would say actually kids are a little bit harder to teach just because they require so much attentional focus, like adults you can do, okay, do this, and then they will try and experiment with it themselves. But with kids, you got to really take them through every single step. Yeah.
Yeah, you definitely have to do that, that's for sure. Now, when it comes to fighting, you posted a little bit on your Instagram about, I believe it was the UFC Combine. Can you talk to us a little bit about that UFC Combine?
So basically, the entire concept of the UFC Combine is that they're looking to recruit fighters around Asia to try and earn a spot in the UFC Performance Institute for like I believe it's a year-long scholarship where everything is provided for. So like training, nutrition, accommodation, physio, basically everything is under one roof at the PI because the PI in Shanghai is just amazing. It has literally everything a fighter needs. So how they test us is a little bit of a mix of both skill and physical attributes. They had 3 different categories for the MMA side of things. So striking, grab, jiu-jitsu, and wrestling. So striking was mostly just kind of drill centric. They wanted to see how you perform some basic techniques and as well as a little bit of adding your own flair to like say freestyle combinations, for example. Whereas the grappling and wrestling was a little bit more straightforward in the sense that it was basically live situational rounds, and then you just had to go at it and score points or submissions. Yeah, and I think that was probably the roughest because you put a room full of guys eager to get a spot somewhere like that, it's just going to be rough. Yeah. For the physical side of things, that was pretty interesting also because mainly because of their facilities. It's really high level sports science, and it's backed by a team of like really competent professional like strength coaches and whatnot. Yeah, so they did strength tests, speed tests, reaction time tests. So like for example, lower body strength test would be like your max deadlift strength, and that was done like on a force plate, as well as let's say upper body strength would be like pull-ups, for example. Yeah. And then so I don't know what the exact metrics was, but so they grouped according to both your martial arts skill ranking and your physical stat ranking, and then they decide who gets to train at the PI from there. Yeah, and I think it was pretty cool because I got 3rd place on my first try, so I thought I did pretty well there. Yeah.
Wow! So congratulations. Yeah, that's really cool. I didn't know much about the UFC Combine. Now, is that a newer thing that the UFC has started? Is it the first time they're doing it?
I think it's been a little bit on the down low because I think this is actually the 5th edition for the Shanghai PI. But the thing is, the past 4 editions were only for fighters in China. So this is the first time they opened up to fighters outside of China in the Asia region. So I was the lone representative from Singapore. There were a couple of guys from India, one guy from Indonesia, and I think that was about it. But yeah, they're starting to like find guys outside of just China, and they also did their first edition in the newly opened Mexico PI. So they had a similar combine there. Basically, I think it's the same concept. Yeah.
Wow, okay. So when you're doing all of these challenges, who is watching you when you're doing all of these like skills challenges so then you can kind of get graded for that 3rd place that you got?
Basically, the entire coaching team is out there. The head coach, basically, all the coaches, like the head coach, the striking coach, the wrestling, jiu-jitsu coach, they were all assessing. And I think, I could be wrong, I believe the head coach comes up with the scoring criteria for the striking and for the grappling and wrestling, and then their new striking coach actually came up with this new scoring system. Yeah, so they were both there would be like one of the coaches would be a ref, and then two others will be judging, and then it just went from there. Yeah.
Okay, so when it comes to you getting third place, what does that mean in terms of like the scholarship? Does that mean you're in now, or do you have to kind of wait on the UFC?
So the downside of fighters outside of China is basically my ability to train there just totally depends on like getting a visa and my own schedule on their end. So right now after this fight, because the timeline was a little bit tight, I had maybe 3-4 weeks after the PI, and I didn't want to hop into a new environment, like a new fight camp basically, without a little bit of time to familiarize. So that's why I came back to finish out this fight camp, and then from there I'll probably head there later in the year, sometime in July, because see, this is why the PI is awesome also. So they've already lined up a fight for me in Macau, I believe, and so I'm gonna do my next camp over there. Yeah, it's pretty much. So it's really just fighter dependent, more or less. Yeah.
Wow. Okay. So when it comes to your next fight, are you going to be training with the same guys, or do you plan to bring in some new coaches?
For the upcoming fight, I'll probably be in a completely new environment because, as I was saying, like the PI kind of has everything under one roof, so they have their own like coaching staff and whatnot, and also like the other fighters at the PI. So I'll be probably joining their stable of guys, and then I think for this time, I'll probably use their coach there, and then but I might try to keep communications open because I've been with my own head coach since the start of my career. So I'll see how they might be able to work together. Maybe like my own head coach could fly in during the fight itself, or keep progress with me throughout the training camp. Yeah.
Now, you mentioned the UFC PI has a little bit of everything. With that being said, what is maybe some behind-the-scenes stuff that maybe a fan might not know about that it has?
This is probably not talked about as much because I think it's overlooked, but it has the dopest ass cafeteria ever. Yeah, so I'm a huge foodie. So the cafeteria has both like weight cut friendly stuff, and a huge portion of it is like the local Chinese food, and it's awesome. And honestly, if one problem I see myself having there is that the food's too good. I really gotta watch. I have to pick the weight cut friendly stuff. If not, I might miss weight. And then in terms of what a fan might miss, let me think. Well, I guess there is a little bit. There's a video game room as well to kind of just relax there and stuff like that. Yeah,
that's pretty cool.
A little bit more. I'm more of a creature comfort kind of guy, so these are the kind of things that excite me. Other than that, I would say something that you don't really see is I'm amazed at how big the PI team is, but how good the chemistry is within that team itself. Because I'd assume like the bigger an organization, the higher likelihood there is for conflicts and stuff like that. But from what I saw at the Combine, like they all were really in sync. So yeah, I think that's something that's worth noting for sure. Yeah.
I definitely agree with you there. There's definitely a lot of companies out there, you see a lot of these higher up places where they don't really, seem like they know what's going on in a sense. But yeah, that's definitely good. Now, when it comes to training, where do you think is the best place you've ever trained at?
Ooh, that's a tricky one. I think it comes down to what you need. So, of course, for myself, I'd say my own gym. But not to promote the gym per se, but because I feel like good training, especially out of camp or like in terms of longevity, like a long-term training program, right? I think it matters not even so much like the talent pool you have, but the amount of care and focus that you can get. So like with smaller gyms like my own, where every day every day when I arrange sessions and stuff, like I'm the focus. Like what I need comes almost top priority. With my guys. So everything is structured around my own improvement, and then I feel like that can help you grow a lot more as a fighter. But that being said, when you need to get sharp and you need to be able to react to different threats and stuff, then that's where a bigger pool of talent comes in. And then you need to train with like other pro fighters, guys who will really push you to the limit. So I think you need a little bit of both. And in that sense, I would say Tiger Muay Thai probably for my last training camp, because there's a bunch of killers over there. Although that remains to be said, because I might think differently after the PI. They didn't really let us get to spar with each other as much. So a huge stable like that with young, hungry, athletic guys, all with a similar focus and training plan, that might be even better than like a commercial gym like Tiger. Yeah.
Fair enough. Now, when it comes to MMA, obviously, everyone's goal is to try to win that title one day. But how would you like to be remembered when it comes to fighting when you're all said and done?
Truth be told, I haven't really thought that far. I think fighting is a very personal thing to me. My whole mindset to fighting is really to just be the best version of myself I can be, and I want to be the guy that never stops trying. Whether I win or lose, I think it doesn't matter as much. Obviously, like I want to be champion like everybody else, but I think I hope my heart shows through it all.
100%. Now I was mentioning to you a little bit that when I was setting up the interview that I'm a Taekwondo instructor. I've been teaching for about 6 years now, and I've been training for about 20 years now. So martial arts is my life, and I just love what I do. With that being said, with all the guys that I teach, what advice would you give to those guys to keep coming into the gym every single day to keep on getting better and better?
Do you mean for like Taekwondo, MMA, or like just in general?
Taekwondo and just like goals in general, yes.
I think it's kind of similar to what I said earlier. I think hard work for sure is the baseline, right? But I don't think you can sustain anything for long term without truly enjoying it. So I would say actually my advice will be to find the joy in training every single day, rather than just aiming for a goal. So of course it's easy to say you want to be champion of the world, but something like that is so arbitrary. It's so far away. Sometimes it's hard to put into perspective day to day, and it's easy to lose focus and lose sight of trying to chase something like that. But it's pretty simple to just say, hey, I want to come in and enjoy what I do today. I want to learn this today. I want to feel good doing it. I think that can push you a lot more every single day as compared to like a not far-fetched, but like a long-term dream, if that makes sense. Yeah. So in a nutshell, I would say enjoy the moments, try to make the moments count, but the training isn't going to be as meaningful if you're not enjoying yourself.
Yeah, you definitely have to enjoy it, and martial arts is definitely awesome, and I definitely love what I do, and I think that was a great message. And speaking of messages, Kai, last message out there to the fans that are going to be watching this video.
Maybe you haven't heard of me yet, but you want to get in on this real early, because you're going to hear from me soon enough.
Yeah, we will. I'm definitely looking forward to your next fight, and thank you so much for coming on. We really appreciate it, and we're looking forward to your next fight. Thanks again.
Yeah, thanks for having me, Kevin. Yeah.
No problem. All right, enjoy the rest of your day. Take care.